Ladies and gentlemen, life is not fair. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start winning. Too many people waste their time complaining, making excuses, waiting for a perfect opportunity that will never come. But I'm here to tell you life doesn't owe you anything. The only thing that will ever change your life is you. Life is tough. That's the truth. And if you're sitting around waiting for someone to come and make it easy, you're going to be waiting forever. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to knock on your door with the perfect opportunity. Nobody is going to hand you the life you dream of on a silver platter. If you want something, you have to go out and get it. Too many people waste their time hoping that things will magically change. They think if they wait long enough, the right moment will come, or someone will recognize their potential and pull them up. That's not how life works. If you want change, you have to be the one to make it happen. You have to take responsibility for where you are and decide that you're not staying there. It's easy to blame circumstances, to say you weren't given the same chances as others, that life has been unfair to you. And maybe that's true, maybe you've had a harder path than most, but that doesn't change the fact that nobody is coming to fix it for you. The world doesn't stop for anyone. The longer you focus on what's wrong, the less time you have to change it. Some people are waiting for a mentor to guide them, for a friend to push them, for a sign from the universe to tell them it's time to start. But the people who succeed in life, they don't wait. They don't sit around hoping for inspiration. They take action even when they're unsure, even when they're scared, even when it's uncomfortable, because they know that movement creates momentum, and momentum creates results. You might think you're not ready. You might think you don't have the skills, the knowledge, the resources. But the truth is, no one ever starts ready. You build yourself up by doing. You learn by trying, failing, adjusting, and trying again. The difference between the people who make it and the people who don't is simple. One group takes action, the other makes excuses. It's harsh, but it's reality. If you don't take control of your own life, someone else will. If you don't decide your future, someone else will decide it for you. And I guarantee their plan for you won't be as big as the one you could create for yourself. So stop waiting. Stop looking for a way around the hard work. Stop hoping for an easy path. There isn't one. Everything you want is on the other side of effort, persistence, and discipline. If you're waiting for permission, here it is. Go get up. Do the work. Nobody's coming to do it for you. Nobody's going to save you. And if that scares you, good, because that means you understand what's at stake. Now it's up to you to do something about it. Talent is a gift, but it's not enough. The world is filled with talented people who never lived up to their potential because they thought their natural ability would carry them. But talent without effort is wasted. Hard work beats talent every single time when talent refuses to work. People love to admire those who seem naturally gifted athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, musicians. We look at them and assume they were born different, as if they just woke up one day with all their skills. What we don't see is the work they put in, the hours spent in practice, the sacrifices they made. Talent might give you a head start, but it won't get you to the finish line. That part is up to you. Hard work is what separates the good from the great. It's what takes an average person and turns them into an expert. It's what turns a dream into reality. The truth is, no matter how talented you are, someone out there is working harder than you, pushing past their limits, refusing to quit. And when talent gets lazy, when it gets comfortable, that's when hard work catches up and takes over. The most successful people in any field weren't always the most talented. They were the ones who showed up every day, who put in the extra hours, who refused to give up when things got tough. They didn't rely on their gifts alone. They outworked everyone around them. Hard work builds discipline, and discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation fades. Think about the athletes who wake up at 4 a.m. to train, the musicians who practice for hours until their fingers bleed, the entrepreneurs who work late nights while others are sleeping. That's not talent, that's commitment. That's the difference between those who succeed and those who only dream about it. The problem is people want results without the struggle. They want to be great without putting in the work. They want to skip the process and go straight to the reward, but success doesn't work that way. Every champion, every master, every leader in any field got there because they did what others weren't willing to do. There will always be someone smarter, faster, stronger, or more naturally gifted than you. But they won't always be willing to work harder than you. And that's your advantage. You don't control your talent, but you control your effort. And effort, when applied consistently, will always win. Hard work doesn't promise immediate results. And that's why most people quit. They want instant success, instant recognition, instant rewards. But those who truly want it, those who are willing to grind even when no one is watching, even when there's no applause, even when it feels like nothing is happening, those are the ones who eventually break through. Talent is a starting point. Hard work is the engine that drives success. And at the end of the day, the person who outworks everyone else will always come out on top. Fear is the biggest liar you will ever face. It whispers in your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not ready, that you will fail. It convinces you to stay where you are, to settle for less, to avoid risk, to play it safe. But fear isn't real, not in the way it tries to convince you. It's a shadow, a trick of the mind, a barrier that only has power if you believe in it. How many times have you hesitated because fear told you that you weren't ready? How many opportunities have passed you by because fear made you doubt yourself? It's not because you couldn't do it. It's because you let fear control your decisions. Fear is not there to protect you, it's there to hold you back. It wants to keep you comfortable, but comfort is the enemy of growth. Most of the things we fear never even happen. We build up worst-case scenarios in our minds, imagining failure, embarrassment, or rejection. But when you actually face your fears, you realize they were never as big as you made them out to be. The fear of trying is always greater than the reality of doing. Every time you push through fear, you weaken its hold on you. Every time you let it stop you, it grows stronger. Fear will tell you to wait, to hold back, to be cautious. It will make you believe you need more time, more preparation, more certainty. But the truth is, no one ever starts with absolute confidence. Confidence is built through action, through doing the things that scare you until they don't scare you anymore. If you wait until fear disappears, you'll be waiting forever. The only way to silence it is to move forward despite it. People let fear dictate their lives, and because of that, they never reach their full potential. They stay in jobs they hate, in relationships that don't fulfill them, in lives that feel empty because fear tells them that change is too risky. But what's riskier? Staying in the same place, living with regret, wondering what could have been, or taking a chance and discovering what's truly possible? Fear will lie to you about failure. It will tell you that failing means you're not good enough, that it's a reason to stop. But failure is not the enemy. It's part of the process. Every successful person has failed more times than they can count. They didn't let fear stop them. They learned from it, grew from it, and kept going. The life you want, the success you dream of, the person you're meant to become, it's all on the other side of fear. The question is, are you going to believe the lies, or are you going to step forward anyway? Because the truth is, fear isn't real. It only has power if you give it power. And once you stop listening, you'll see just how unstoppable you really are. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of success. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every story of triumph is built on a foundation of failures. Yet most people fear failure as if it's something to be avoided at all costs. They see it as a sign that they aren't good enough, that they should quit, that they should play it safe. But the truth is, failure is necessary. Without it, there is no learning, no growth, no real success. Look at anyone who has ever accomplished something significant. They didn't get there without stumbling, falling, and making mistakes. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of failure, it's how they respond to it. Some people let failure define them, while others use it as fuel to push forward. Some let it break them, while others let it build them. Failure teaches lessons that success never will. When you fail, you are forced to face your weaknesses, to adjust, to rethink your approach. It humbles you, sharpens you, and makes you stronger. Success can sometimes blind you, making you believe you have all the answers. But failure forces you to grow. It forces you to develop resilience, problem-solving skills, and the determination to keep going when things get tough. Most people never succeed simply because they give up too soon. They try something, fail, and assume it wasn't meant for them. They take one rejection as a final answer instead of seeing it as just another step in the process. But if you want something bad enough, you have to be willing to fail for it again and again. Every failure is a lesson, every setback is an opportunity to improve, and every mistake is a stepping stone to mastery. The problem is society has conditioned people to see failure as something shameful. From a young age, we are taught to avoid mistakes, to get everything right, to fear being wrong. But that mindset kills potential. It stops people from taking risks, from trying new things, from stepping out of their comfort zones. The truth is, if you are not failing, you are not growing. If you are not making mistakes, you are not pushing yourself hard enough. Failure is not the end, it is the beginning. It is proof that you are trying, that you are in the game, that you are taking action. The only true failure is never starting, never trying, never taking the leap. The people who achieve the most are the ones who have failed the most, because they understand that failure is not defeat, it is data. It is feedback. It is the universe asking you, how bad do you want it? So fail boldly, fail often, and each time get back up stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. Because every failure brings you one step closer to the success you were meant for. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like a wave. One day you feel unstoppable, ready to take on the world, and the next you don't feel like doing anything. That's the problem with motivation. It's based on emotion, and emotions are unreliable. If you rely on motivation to get things done, you will never be consistent. If you wait until you feel like it, you will never achieve anything great. That's why discipline will always beat motivation. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. It's about showing up every day, putting in the work, and staying committed even when you don't feel like it. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who wake up motivated every morning. They are the ones who have trained themselves to take action whether they feel like it or not. They understand that motivation may get you started, but only discipline will keep you going. Motivation is like a spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the spark fades. When you rely on motivation alone, you're at the mercy of your moods. If you're tired, you skip the workout. If you're uninspired, you procrastinate on your work. If you're frustrated, you give up. But when you have discipline, none of that matters. You do it anyway. You train your mind to push through resistance, to ignore excuses, to act in spite of doubt. Think about the greatest athletes, musicians, entrepreneurs, or artists. They don't reach the top because they wake up every day feeling excited and motivated. They get there because they build habits. They show up when it's hard, when it's boring, when no one is watching. They don't ask themselves, do I feel like doing this today? They just do it. Because they know that discipline creates results, and results create motivation, not the other way around. Most people fail not because they lack talent, intelligence, or potential, but because they lack discipline. They start strong, full of excitement, but as soon as things get difficult, they lose interest. They expect motivation to carry them through, and when it doesn't, they quit. But if you want real success, you can't rely on something as unstable as motivation. You have to build discipline like a muscle, through repetition, through consistency, through choosing to show up every single day. Discipline means sticking to your commitments even when it's inconvenient. It means pushing through discomfort, resisting distractions, and doing what you said you would do long after the excitement has worn off. It means training yourself to follow through, to trust in the process, to understand that greatness isn't built in one day of motivation, but in years of disciplined effort. You don't have to feel motivated to take action. You just have to do it. And the more you practice discipline, the stronger it becomes. Eventually, it becomes who you are. And when discipline becomes your identity, success is no longer a question of if it's only a matter of time. You were not put on this earth to be average. You were not meant to just exist, go through the motions, and settle for a life that is less than what you are capable of. Deep down, you know this. You know there is something greater inside of you, something that is meant to be developed, sharpened, and unleashed. You owe it to yourself to be great, not just for the world, not just for the people around you, but for yourself. Because living beneath your potential is the greatest injustice you can do to your own life. Too many people talk themselves out of greatness. They convince themselves that they aren't special, that they don't have what it takes, that their dreams are too big. But the only difference between those who achieve greatness and those who don't is that one group refuses to settle. They refuse to believe in limitations. They refuse to let fear or doubt control them. They refuse to accept anything less than the best version of themselves. Greatness is not about luck. It's not about where you come from, what resources you have, or what opportunities you were given. It's about making the decision to rise above excuses, to push through obstacles, and to demand more from yourself every single day. The truth is, most people are not willing to do this. They choose comfort over challenge. They choose ease over effort. But the ones who choose to chase greatness, they are the ones who leave a legacy. No one is going to hand you greatness. No one is going to push you to your highest level unless you decide to push yourself. The world will let you be average if you allow it. People will accept you staying the same because it makes them comfortable. But you are not here to make other people comfortable. You are here to grow, to evolve, to stretch beyond what you thought was possible. You are here to become everything you were meant to be. There is a reason why you have certain dreams, ambitions, and talents. They were placed inside of you for a purpose. You don't just owe it to yourself to be great. You have a responsibility to live up to your potential. Because when you do, you inspire others to do the same. You prove what is possible. You show that hard work, persistence, and faith in yourself can take you further than you ever imagined. Settling for less is a choice. So is striving for greatness. Every single day, you decide which path you are going to take. You decide whether you are going to step up or shrink back, whether you are going to push forward or stay in place. And in the end, the only person responsible for your greatness is you. You owe it to yourself to go all the way. Because anything less than your best is a waste of the gift you've been given.